Could a no-code AI be your next virtual assistant? Welcome, I'm Frédéric Bruno, and it's a Content Creator Weekly Show. So without delay, let's get answer this question. Let's go. Welcome, everybody. I'm glad to close this show with your favorite B2B soft leader, Cyril Coste, aka the Digital Transformation Navigator. But I think now we could call him the AA King Evangelist. How are
Gosh.
you today, Cyril?
Thank you for this very nice introduction, Frederic. I'm very well. It's a bit grey today in London, which is like every Friday. But yeah, no, maybe that was a bit too nice. That put the pressure on me.
Now you've got the pressure, and you have also the pressure because this week I decided to challenge you. And because you always speak about new kind of tools, like for instance Auto-GPT or something like that, and when we prepare our weekly show, we're always looking about some new idea and something pop up, in my in my mind. I say, Cyril, I got a challenge for you. Could you create a no-code assistant for a content creator using this new technology, just like Auto-GPT? And I give you also a use case to test it about social listening, because if you are a content creator, social listening could be a huge part of your life. So you decided to accept this challenge, and you say, okay, now let me work, and I will show you all the results live on Friday. So I think you decided to use Auto-GPT, or more precisely Agent-GPT. I'm correct?
Yes. So there are like two versions. You have multiple Auto GPT autonomous agents. You have Auto GPT, you have Baby GPT, extra, extra. So you have few of them, and I would say 3, 4 that are like taking the lead in terms of taking the attention and working. So I focused on two parts because I know the audience is not necessarily very technical, so I wanted to
Yeah.
show one version that is online that everybody can use, and another version which is a bit more on the technical side, where you need to install Docker and a few things on your computer, but it's more configurable. So I wanted to show really the two versions, and we are going to compare the results live.
Absolutely. And
Let's do it.
so the first version is on the online version is Agent GPT, and
Yeah.
we will use first. And the second version is Auto GPT. But correct me if I'm wrong. But at the end, it's the same technology.
At the end, is the same technology. It's just basically one is deployed on the cloud to make it available to most of the people. If you use the free version, so I started to share. Maybe you can share the screen,
Yeah, for
Frederic.
sure.
Okay, cool. So it's agentgpt.reworkd.ai. Okay, we'll put the URL in the description of the show.
Yeah.
But basically, this is what you have when you arrive. Okay, I'm logged in, and in the settings I put my OpenAI API key, so that basically I'm not limited in the number of results. But otherwise, if you just arrive and you're not logged in and you don't enter the key, you will have maybe 10 iterations of the tool. Yes, Fred?
Okay. If you don't have an API key for ChatGPT,
Yeah.
could you also use Agent GPT, or the experience is very, very bad?
This is what you are going to see. Okay, so I started a incognito
Okay.
window. So I'm not logged in. I haven't put anything in terms of API key, whatever. So I just arrived,
Okay.
and this is what you will see. Okay, if you have never logged in,
Okay.
whatever. So if we do a test, so let's say you are social media. What are we? What are we?
Oh, so we could be a social media manager, for instance.
Social media manager. And give me one goal, for example, of your goal.
On one goal, and we can use the same kind of goal for AutoGPT 2. It's maybe to grow our followers numbers,
Grow,
grow our audience size, you know.
grow followers. So what is the
Oh,
account to grow?
sorry?
What is the account you want to? We are Foxy Nerds.
For instance,
We are Foxy Nerds. Grow Twitter account of Foxy Nerds by 10,000 followers. 10,000 followers in 90 days. Followers in 90 days. Okay, and that's all. So now basically it's going to, what it's going to do is going to break down the task. Okay.
okay,
And you can see here on the side that the first task is to analyze and identify relevant keywords and hashtags for the We Are Foxy Nerds account, which makes sense.
okay. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
And he has completed. So task execution response. After analyzing the account, I have identified the following: women in tech, girls boss, STEM, women in business. You probably had too many posts about women in tech or stuff like this recently. So
Maybe.
So don't forget that also right now, because I haven't put any API key, is using GPT 3.5 Turbo.
Okay.
And compared to GPT-4, it is hallucinating. We will talk about this next week a bit more. They say it has a tendency to imagine things even if they are not there. So there is a way to avoid, for example, or to reframe the hashtags we would like to be known, but you have to go in the manual
Okay.
mode, not really in. So here I've reached the number of tasks. So analyze, identify relevant hashtag keywords, create and schedule daily tweets, implement a targeted follower acquisition strategy, extra. So yes, basically identify some really good tasks like a social manager really
Yeah.
would do.
And,
And
and you don't configure anything. He decided by itself the task he has to do.
absolutely, he just like he broke down the task and he decided the execution of the task on its own. That's why we call this an autonomous
Wow.
agent.
Okay.
It's one of the limitations of ChatGPT is to say create an outline for a blog post about weakness of dollars in the 90s, blah blah. So you have your outline, and every time you have to say uh, expand chapter 1.1, blah blah blah, and you have to do this manually. Here, basically,
Yeah.
it's like you ask him to write a blog post, but as usual, you need to put context, you need to put some precise questions, and basically this time it will do the work itself.
Okay.
And what is interesting, we are going to see that in the second version, is that it's going to evaluate its work. That's very
Okay.
important and very impressive. So here, basically,
And
because we are,
how it does that?
we'll see that after.
Oh,
But right now, basically, in Agent-GPT, it's a simple interface, so a lot of information are hidden, and basically the purpose is really just to provide you with something very easy to use and
okay.
actionable. Okay,
So
so this is,
so
I
I know
exported
that
the
you.
PDF.
Okay, this is that's why I want to ask. This is a PDF of all the actions Agent GPT has done.
Yes, exactly. So this is everything that has been outcome. So we can see that as an autonomous execution AI, I have successfully executed the task of growing the account, blah, blah, blah. Well, we need to go step by step, but it looks like
Yeah.
create engaging visuals, um, task execution as per the given objective. I will create engaging visuals. Yeah. Well. So the other version that we're going to see, you can connect it to DALI, for example, or
Okay.
stable diffusion, so that you can
So
create some visuals.
you can create all the visual you need for your Twitter account, and it's completely into
Mm.
automated mode.
Yes. So you see, so if you don't enter the key, you are in a demo, so you are limited to a certain number of actions that you can do.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
What
So
happens if you are not limited?
yeah, just to be clear, if you want to test Agent GPT after this show, you can use the free version and do not enter your ChatGPT key just to test it and to see how it works.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
but if you enter your ChatGPT key, you will use ChatGPT 4, and the result will be even better.
Yes.
So you prepare a use case about social listening on Agent-GPT. Could you give us all the details of this use case, please, Cyril?
Yeah. Okay. So in the same way, so I did that about an hour ago, and I asked him, to create a social media agent. Goal number one. So these
Okay.
are the goals we defined yesterday together. Goal one,
Yeah.
monitor mention about American Airlines Twitter account. Number two, monitor social media post in terms of volume engagement. Goal number three, it was analyze the engagement per topic. Number four, compare
Okay.
the social media engagement with competitors, so United Airlines and Delta Airlines. And number five, which I think is a very interesting one, was to analyze the followers' profile. That's very
Oh, yeah.
important to know, your followers' profile to get new followers. And now this is where the magic happened. So basically, I just entered that. Okay, this is my
Okay.
input. Then he says,
This is
okay,
just your
that's
input.
number one.
This is just
Yeah.
your input.
And everything else is Auto-GPT. Task number one, I'm going to collect and analyze tweets mentioning American Airlines, United, and Delta for engagement metrics.
Okay.
That's what everybody would do. Makes perfect sense.
Absolutely.
No, task number two, I will categorize the tweets by topics and make some calculation, measurements. Task number three, I will compare the followers' profile. So by these three big tasks here, it just answers the 5 goals already. Okay.
Yeah.
So now we can see basically. So this is where it can become a bit like suspicious, because technically you can't really go more than, I think, 3,200 tweets in your timeline. And he says, okay, number of tweets, 5,000,
Okay.
4,500 extra. I'm not sure if these are real informations or if they have been extracted from somewhere. Okay. So always be careful with ChatGPT information. Okay. We'll see next week how to limit this type of hallucination.
Big disclaimer. Big disclaimer.
Yeah, be careful. And basically, so this is the results of task number one. It has extracted the tweets. He has added task number 4. Results of task number 2.
With the result of the first task, he decided to create a new task. I'm correct?
A new task, exactly. Okay. So this is exactly, depending on the results of each steps, it will drive the search of, it will design the scope of the following steps. So this is where, when we call autonomous agent, is that it's able to automatically make its own decisions. We don't determine at the start what are the 10 steps it needs to follow. So in the free version, you have basically 5, 6 steps. Okay. Here I stopped it, and I think it was like 53. Okay. But basically all the 50, it has completed 50 tasks. And so this is an overview about the task 50, analyze the engagement and sentiment of the newly implemented content strategy for American Air, comparing it with the previous strategy. So it has understood that there was 2 strategies, one older, one newer version. And basically it tries to understand, the difference in terms of performance, as well as with the ongoing strategy of United and Delta. Identify areas of improvement and provide a recommendation for adjustment. So some key findings, comparison with previous strategies, the new content strategy resulted in a 12% increase in overall engagement with 15% increase in positive sentiment. So that's really good. I mean,
Yeah,
how long? How long? Of course, we need to review. What are these
for
tweets, etc.
sure, for sure, for sure.
But it has, after 50 tasks and less than an hour of work, it has detected that there were different content strategies, and it said, "Oh, let's check what are the performance of these two strategies and which one is better than the other." That's quite incredible. And
Yeah,
also
it's
after
really impressive. It's really
yeah,
impressive.
it's and it has its I don't know. I don't know if there is anything else that was showing. But so this is Auto-GPT. So it works
So
great. I mean, let's be frank, it
when
works
it
great.
created all these tasks, at the end, how, as a social media manager, how are you able to use it?
So as a social media manager, you will go there and you will see, okay, the completion of
Okay,
each task. Okay. And you will see, okay,
okay,
is it something actionable for me? Is it something, firstly, does it make sense? Is it real?
okay.
Is it actionable for me? Okay. So based on the above data, the topic with the highest engagement rate is safety and COVID-19 protocols. Okay, if you analyze the 5,000 latest tweets from any airlines company, probably you will have a lot of COVID in them.
Yeah,
But it's not relevant anymore. So one
absolutely.
thing maybe I would relaunch this, the same agent, but I will specifically say maybe do not consider any COVID
Yeah,
tweets. Maybe this is what I would limit. I just learned. I learned one thing. I need to remove COVID content from it. Not relevant anymore.
okay.
But if we dive a little bit more, for example, preference, personalization, followers appreciate personalized offer, recommendations, and content that cater to their specific travel needs and preference. Makes sense. Interest. So here we have an analysis about the demographics, interest, and preference of the followers of the three main airlines. Uh,
That's
and
really important.
that's
That's really great. That's really great to have
that's
this kind of information.
that's
Precious.
absolutely, because these are information that are not available via Twitter anymore. And
Yeah,
if you don't have budget or if you don't have the time to launch, a very expensive customer research, you can basically use ChatGPT to do it for you. Maybe the results will be 80% right, but you just need 80% to start dig more.
yeah,
You save time and money, and basically you can also ask him after, okay, how do you know that the followers are between the ages of 25 and 54? You can ask him after to kind of justify what has surfaced during the research. So a lot, you see, 53 tasks, I don't know how many pages, 52 pages. So yeah, it will take you a good day maybe just to after go back and say, doesn't make sense, doesn't worth it, or that's gold, I need to dig more here.
yeah.
So that's a huge
As
time saver for any social media manager.
absolutely, and I think it's a good conclusion for Agent GPT. Just two things. Uh, it helps you to gain a lot of time, but it don't replace a social media manager. You have to work with him, not let's it to everything, so it don't replace a social media manager.
It doesn't replace a social media manager, but
Yeah,
it's a great assistant to the social media manager.
it's a great assistant. It's a really great
Yeah.
assistant. So if you are a content creator, you want to better know your audience, you want to grow your audience, or you want to be to follow some trends and to analyze what kind of content could perform on Twitter, on LinkedIn, or so on. You could use chat you could use Agent GPT to do that, and it's very very easy to configure. There is no code, as Cyril just showed you. There is 3 lines to complete, and that's it.
And that's it. And
I'm
after you
correct,
have like
Cyril?
a model. Yeah, absolutely. And you know, the way I would do it now will be I would extract myself, let's say, for example, the past 2,000 tweets from each of the airlines, and I will feed that. You know, I will find a way to extract this information just to be sure that you know the right, correct informations are provided. So this is probably how I will do it the next time.
Okay.
Let's play a little bit now with Auto-GPT.
Auto-GPT. So we will show you uh, a version of Auto-GPT with less, with a worse UI, we can say.
Yeah, basically it's more for developers and tech people. So basically,
you have to enter command into your terminal to use it. But at the end, the installation of Auto-GPT was not so complicated.
No, I see there are a few red still few things for me to fix, but you can follow the instructions. They are super clear. We once again put maybe I can go there. Maybe I'm going to stop sharing this and share another where it is. Sorry, Auto-GPT. Voila, I'm going to share that screen. Sorry, I need to move between different screens. So I think you should see the Auto-GPT screen.
Yeah.
Yep. So basically you just go here, significant-gravitas.github.io/auto-gpt. And here you will have all the information about the installation, the setup, you know, how to use it with Docker, how to use it with Pinecode, how to use it with etc. There are quite few tools to configure in order to have it working on your machine. So you know, sometimes if you're not very familiar, just follow exactly the instructions. Just follow the instructions. And if something doesn't work, usually go in Stack Overflow or Reddit, and you will have an answer about how to configure it for your machine. Okay, so just follow the instruction. If it doesn't work, they have the GitHub forum or Stack Overflow or Reddit.
Stack Overflow forum.
And yeah, this is how I've been able to get this installed. It didn't work the first time, to be fair. It didn't work the first time. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back to
it's worked. It worked the second time, or there are a lot of attempts to.
No, a few things to configure here and there, and it's a new machine that I have too, so I don't have all the tools that I used to have before. So that's why I made. For most of the developers or people who are a bit techie who do stuff on the side, it will already be on their machine.
So all the nerds in our audience will be really familiar with the way to install Auto-GPT at the end.
Absolutely. So let's go back to the terminal. So let's ignore everything here. Okay. So let's name our agent. So we call it. How did we call it? We call it the social media agent in our previous case. So let's do that. Social media agent. Service. So what is the social media? What is a social media agent, Fred? So a social media agent is an assistant. You just need to describe what it is. Well, right now.
Oh, it's an assistant that will help you to manage your Twitter account, for instance, and to grow your audiences. And we can use also we have Foxy Nerds as an example, like we do previously, to see also the difference, because with Auto-GPT you have entered your key and it works with GPT-4. I'm correct?
Absolutely. is an assistant designed to manage my @we are Foxy Nerds Twitter account and grow the number of followers. Okay, good.
Yeah.
So goal number 1, it's grow the number of followers.
Yeah. And we will say also 10,000 followers in 90 days or something like that, like in the previous examples, or we can be more abstract.
Well, let's be ambitious. 10 followers in 90 days. Okay. Create a content calendar for the next 30 days. Write tweets, write tweets designed to generate engagement and comments, and provide recommendations on how to manage the account. Okay, sounds good?
Okay, sounds very, very good. And
we don't need a fifth. You don't need to put 5, and you can put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay.
And just to be clear, with Auto-GPT now, we have to be clearer than in the free version of Agent-GPT. You have to be very precise also about what you want.
Yes. There is a way to correct it. We are going to see that. But if I press OK now, yeah. So basically, it's configuring, it's thinking. So like that's funny. It says, syncing.
Syncing.
It's a machine. You're not syncing.
But in terms of UX, it's perfect to see just the word syncing.
Yeah. Just wanted to show, the difference in terms of UI extra between Agent-GPT and Auto-GPT. Different tool. And this is exactly the structure that we are going to have every time. Okay. So the first one is thoughts. Autonomous agent thoughts. I need to create a content calendar for the next 30 days and write tweets designed to generate engagement and comments. Yes. Okay. Reasoning. To achieve the goal of growing the number of followers by 10,000 in 90 days, I need to create a content calendar and write engaging tweets. Makes perfect sense. So far, the different steps are put in the right order. Plan. Research popular topics in the nerd community. Oops, that's not right.
That's not exactly.
That's not exactly it. Okay. Create a content calendar for the next 30 days. Good. Write engaging tweets. Yes. Send tweets and monitor engagement. Perfect. So we need to enter feedback here, okay? Because obviously We Are Foxy Nerds is not designed for nerds, but for content creator. So
you need to analyze maybe the Twitter account, the targeted audience, and so on.
Yeah, but he hasn't done it yet. It's just based on the input. I'm just going to put that the targeted community, the targeted community is not the nerd community, but the content creators community, brands and agency and marketing agencies, or
brands and marketing agency. Yes, we can say that. Maybe we can just say B2B content creators also.
It's too late because I have to go back.
It's too late? Okay.
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 It's not super efficient, to write on terminals. Okay, good. B2B content creators community. Let's start with the community.
We can start with that if you want.
Okay. System, human feedback. So me. So it's going to use, it's thinking now. Okay, so okay, how do I adjust the thoughts, the reasoning on the plan? So let's give it a bit of time to think. What we can see is, you see, after the previous results, there was next action. So command Google argument. So this is what he was planning to do. This is what Auto-GPT was planning to do. It was to make a Google search about popular topics in the nerd community. Okay, and if I entered yes, it would have done that. Okay, so let's see basically what is the new version. So I need to create a content. So pretty much, so it's exactly the same as the previous steps, but it has a change from research popular topics in the B2B content creator community. Voilà. So now the next action you can see is command Google, so a web search, arguments, popular topics in the B2B content creators community. Okay, I'm going to say yes, and it's going to launch it. So you can see it can become, so this is what has been written by Google in terms of titles. So now there is an analysis about that. So you can see every time this can be, you can say yes, you can say yeah dash a certain number, and that will automatically run Auto-GPT for a number of run without any manual intervention. Or you say no and to exit, or you enter a feedback, have we just done. So this example was really good. So don't, at the beginning, just go manual. It's a bit boring because it has to work on, on the second screen, on the third screen. But just be sure that, it's going in the right direction before you say, yes, do that for 100 steps. Okay. So let's see what has come. You want to read the results, Fred? The thoughts.
So the thought, let me, I will browse the website from the search result to find popular topics in the B2B content creator community. The search results provided several websites with relevant information on popular topics and trends in the B2B content creators community. Browsing this website will help me gather more information to create a content calendar. It sounds very logical.
Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to ask him to run for like 10 cycles. Okay. So he's going to do his job. So now he's going to do 10 steps automatically.
Okay.
Just want to inform. So I'm using, of course, OpenAI API key. So you need one in order to be able to use ChatGPT. You need also to be able to configure different, like a Docker. You need, what else did I need to install? Python, obviously. So it's not that difficult, but it's it takes a bit of time. So this weekend, if it's rainy and dark and you don't know what to do, and so that's something interesting. You see, the text length of the article is 10,700 characters. And what it's going to do, because it's quite big, is that it's going to summarize. And this is something I've noticed with Auto-GPT, is that every time you get some content, it tends to summarize it all the time. I don't know if it's good or bad thing, but so this is basically the system. This is the results from the previous system. So now thinking.
Okay.
So that's why, it can take a very long time. So I will continue. So now I think it's continuing with the second. So he has probably selected, if we go up a little bit, here are all all the articles basically that no, it's
Okay.
this one. All the articles that come back from the Google search, and that is no, it's this one here, and it basically now is scrolling all these articles, extracting
Okay.
information, and it will come back with a list of popular topics for B2B account,
Okay.
and that's it. So it can last for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. The idea is to show how it works, and now people have to test it. So, in a conclusion, Cyril, of your test of Agent GPT and also Auto GPT, do you think content creators could use it as a virtual assistant or not?
Based on what I've done this week, spending time with them, I don't think that's ready yet. Okay,
Okay.
that's definitely not business or enterprise grade level. Absolutely not. Um,
Okay.
in term of
That's fair.
solopreneur or small agency, I think it's always interesting, to try and test to see if there is something new, some new ideas that pop up. So that's fine.
Yeah.
It's
And
probably going to change a lot in terms of interface, in terms of tools. Pinecode. So Pinecode was used to store information from AI. Got it has been so successful that basically they just got a $100 million injection this week because
okay.
it becomes famous. So
Yeah.
we touch it, touch, try to learn these tools, try to learn to write great prompts. That's a topic for next week again, because that's going to become your third, fourth,
Yeah.
fifth language.
So don't put your all your eggs in the same basket at the end. You
Absolutely.
you have to try it to see how it works for you. If you are a content creator, if you are a startup or a company with a small budget, it could be a good add-on for the moment to your content creation strategy. If you have a lot of budget, you're a larger corporation, maybe you have also to wait to use it. And but in your opinion, in the next weeks, months, it could be more than an add-on.
Yeah, I think in the
So
next few weeks we are going to see some SaaS who are going to provide better experience and UI to be able to use the tool,
okay,
to encapsulate all the kind of technical complexity behind it. So that's one aspect of it. A second aspect, which is how to make it like a real autonomous agent. I think that's a great first steps, but clearly there is like a need for supervision
okay,
that needs to be a bit more user friendly. So how it can work exactly, it's still very fresh in my mind, so I'm still thinking a lot
yeah,
about it. But it's moving so fast that by the end of the year we will have
yeah,
deployable autonomous agent in companies. So with
yes,
that, basically, it's not just find me the next find me a spot for a meeting between all these participants, but it's collect all their last reports, create all the agenda for the meeting, write the report for the meeting, who should be on the distribution list for the meeting notes. So it's boom, 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 boom. Like
yeah,
it's crazy what we are going to be able to do with this autonomous agent. It's going to change the way we work because all the kind of boring admin bureaucratic part of our work is going to be taken
yeah.
over by this agent.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think it's a good conclusion to say, uh, have a look on it. It could be an add-on. It's not for the moment your main tools, but be prepared because in the next coming weeks, months, they will become smarter than ever, and you can integrate it into your workflow to gain a lot of time for some repeated and sometimes complex also task. Thanks a lot, Cyril, for this amazing demo. I'm very happy to challenge you like that, because it's always very surprising, and we discover a lot of things. So thanks a lot for this time, for imagine for imagining the way to answer the challenge and so on. It was really really great. Thanks, Cyril.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Super happy to talk about tools for content creators and the economies industry. It's changing fast. It's really exciting to be
Yeah.
in the middle of it. Yeah.
I
Thank you,
think
Fred.
now you deserve also to be called the AA King Evangelist at the end. So thanks a lot, everybody. We hope really you enjoy this video, learn something new. I'm pretty sure you have to. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for more exciting content. You can follow us on LinkedIn at LinkedIn/company/Foxy on Twitter at We Are Foxy and also on YouTube, also at We Are Foxy. Thank you again for your support, and we will see you in our next video. Bye, guys.
Bye.